Do you like scary movies?
All right, welcome back to Fright Night Flicks. You're here with Dan and Darren, your go-to horror movie review podcast.
What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? We are continuing on with our Friday the 13th series. And this week, we are going to be reviewing Friday the 13th part...
Oh my God, 8? Is it 8?
It is 8. Dude, I get so lost in these.
Oh, dude.
What did your hand just do?
Well, I was going to point. I was going to say, I don't know why I was doing that with my hand, but we're going to leave, we're going to leave Crystal Lake and take a little trip to Manhattan.
We spend a lot of time on Crystal Lake in this one, but okay, I'm not even going to get into it. Let me just run through the beginning. We're going over part 8. Jason takes Manhattan. Kind of a little, does he really take Manhattan? Okay, I'm one to talk too much about this. Yeah. I know. There's so much, and you brought up Crystal Lake, and there's a big part of this movie with Crystal Lake that I have some problems with.
There's a lot of problems with this movie. Straight up. This movie is not great, but let's get a movie.
Yeah, so we'll give our...
we have to keep this guy on track here. We're going to sit in the intro for 10 minutes.
All right, we'll give you guys a brief overview of the movie, our initial impressions. We'll throw in some other stuff. We'll break down the movie. We'll finish with our final thoughts, throw in some interesting facts, and that'll be the end of the episode. But before we even start all that, we gotta have a special thanks to all our patrons.
Yeah, thanks to all our patrons. We do a lot of extra content for you guys. We enjoy doing it.
I believe they're patrons.
I don't know how to say it. But thank you so much for joining. Hey, and if you want to get more content, hey, we'd love to have you as well. Yeah. We're talking to the non-patrons now.
Speaking of that, what you'll get bonus every month. We do a bonus episode. So, and we kind of listen to our patrons too on what they want. So we'll get an extra bonus episode.
Which is a movie review, bonus movie review.
Correct. You'll get early access to podcasts. We also do just extra talking segments after each podcast that we're putting on there. So like the after pod segments, you'll get ad-free episodes, Discord access. And yeah, you'll just be an awesome person.
Yeah. So we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you. And you can join for free too and just check it out if you want. That's also more than welcome.
But that's a little bit like, just like, stepping your toe in the water, you might as well just jump in.
Might as well. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we also, we got a dog that is barking like crazy. Anyways, if you guys don't have the extra cash, don't want to join Patreon, that's okay. But maybe you still want to help out the show. If you guys leave us a review or comment, especially on Apple, if you leave a review there, comment on Spotify, we'll read it out here. And it really helps the show. So that's appreciated.
Also just tell friends, like share. Honestly, if you like us and you want to see us grow, which we'd love as well, tell your friends and have them check it out.
Maybe actually, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to read over our newest comments. We have one on Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. So in that one, we have Crazy Meg. Love the review, guys. Love how you showed so much respect for my girl. The Megs can be crazy. With a crazy face.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, because if you guys don't remember, there was a Crazy Meg. We have our own Crazy Meg. Those two seem to link up here.
Yes, both crazy, both Megs.
Yeah, boom.
Thank you, Meg. Our next one, we have Darren. Darren threw in there and said, the fight around 13 minutes had me dying laughing while I was editing.
Was that our fight?
Must have been.
I think so. I've already forgotten what that was about. Did you miss Jacob up there?
Nope, that's the next comment I'm going to read.
For sure.
Friday the 13th, part 7, The New Blood. Jacob says, fun fact, I believe the guy that played Jason in this movie, Kane Hodder, he also did the mocap for Leatherface in TCM, and that is correct.
That is a fact. You know what's funny? I don't know that. I knew when we started talking about, we do our TCM gaming podcast. Most of you guys know that. But I knew that Kane Hodder did that. I hadn't watched Jason's in so long. I didn't remember who he really was.
Yeah, he's just he's the newer Jason, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. We haven't done the newest ones.
Well, he's like a fan favorite, I think, because he's like a big old dude.
Yeah, I thought he was only on 3 of them. I could be wrong. Who knows? But I'll tell you what, it is a lot of fun going through all these movies because I have a new appreciation for Jason. And honestly, we got a new feel for like how the movies went and how like the journey of Friday the 13th.
We just went over a telekinesis one, so...
Dude, it's been crazy.
It's been a wild ride, and we're supposedly going to Manhattan in this episode.
I'll tell you what, though. I think after this one, I feel like we're going to have some bangers coming up. I don't know if that's even true, though. But I'm excited for them.
I think our next one, we go to hell.
Which I think is going to be fun.
It'll be interesting.
It's like, because as a kid, I remembered these movies, but I also remember Jason Manhattan, and guess what, guys? Not as good as I thought it was.
Do you know what's funny? Why did I used to call him Jason Manhattan?
Because you're an idiot.
Did you not call him that?
We probably did, because when did this come out? We were like young. The thing about the Jason Manhattan movie, I used to see it. I feel like it was on TV a lot, like edited for TV. But I don't know as to why.
I definitely never saw this.
Oh, I for sure saw it. But see, the thing is, I don't think I ever watched the whole thing through.
So Jason Takes Manhattan. This came out in 1989. You may be wondering, Dan, why are you looking at your phone while you do it this time? Well, that's because Darren accidentally deleted everything I put in here in the notes.
Yep, that's correct, Dan.
So this came out in 1989. A little synopsis. Jason Voorhees is accidentally awakened from his watery grave. I mean, that's like every movie that's happened for a while. And ends up stalking a ship full of graduated high school students headed to
Manhattan or New York.
Well, I think it's Manhattan, New York, right?
I honestly don't know New York
Okay.
geopolitics.
This is directed by Rob Hayden, writers Rob Hayden and Victor Miller. That's the one who has the lawsuit against the F-13 game.
Ugh.
Stars Jensen Daggett, Kane Hodder. Oh, Kane Hodder.
Yeah, he's the Jason in this one.
Yeah, and Todd something. So, anyways, that's a little brief overview. But before we get into too much more, let's run over the Rotten Tomatoes. 11% from critics, 26% from fans.
Yeah, which is pretty much where I'd put this movie. It was not entertaining. We'll get to initial impressions though in a second. First, I want to talk box office. So I want to do this on each of the movies. I'd like to go over how well it did,
Okay.
compared to how much it cost for how much it made. Because these are kind of interesting for horror movies, because horror movies generally aren't very expensive to make.
I mean, maybe.
Well,
I don't really know.
I feel like that's like what I've heard from horror. Yeah. I made no movies myself, but I feel like I've heard horror movies are easy to make. You make them low budget, and they usually can make a lot of money for you. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that was like Texas Chainsaw, but
yeah, whatever. So this movie, budget $5 million. How much do you think it made?
if it was
Gross.
budgeted 5, I will say 15 million.
Oh, that was good. 14.
Oh, close.
But you know what's funny about this one? I think it made the lowest amount out of all the Friday 13th.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I read. So in a book.
But still, you wonder why they make so many of these movies. Well, when you double what you put into it, you know,
Well, practically tripled it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, why can't we make more of these? Because these efforts with their licensing.
What are you talking about?
why they don't make more Friday the 13th now?
I mean, I think it's they've made a lot. Do you want? I don't know if I
You
really
don't want
want
any
like,
more?
No, I'd like more, but it's also gets to a point where some of these are dog turds or cat turds.
No, either way, it's not great. Yeah, no. Some of these are bad, but I love Jason. Dude, if you get a good director and a good writer, you could make a great Jason movie.
That goes with any movie, probably.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't really know. So you don't want to see any more movies with Jason?
No, I would, but I feel like you're almost arguing like, hey, these make money, just make as many as you can. I'm not really on that bandwagon.
Well, I don't know. It was great. I've had fun watching all these, so I would love to see more. You're right. Would I like better quality? For sure. But I don't really care.
Would you? I don't know if that is for sure.
As long as it's fun, I don't really care.
All right, keep running through your box office.
Well, that was it. It made 14 million. Boom, done. Box office.
That's it?
Yeah.
I thought you had okay, I see what happened. All right. I see your box off on the notes. Darren got this. I thought that was your box office section.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's time we just get into the initial impressions. Darren, do you want to give us yours first?
Yes, I would like to. Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome.
So my initial impressions, very bland movie, extremely boring. It was hard to get through. Like we talked about a couple times already, which you got edited out. The fact that it was supposed to be Jason Manhattan and this was pretty much Jason on a boat for the most part. The kills were very dull. And I think this one was also heavily censored. And it's just like the whole movie as a whole, the characters, it was just forgettable. It was a boring movie.
Yeah, okay. So I would say the same thing. Like, I had no idea what this was about. I saw Jason Manhattan. To be honest, I was excited because I'm like, Jason in Manhattan, that is... Well, one, I was a little nervous because I'm like, that's going to be freaking crazy. Like, Jason in a city sounds nuts. Like, this could go off the rails. And it did. But it wasn't in Manhattan. It all starts at Crystal Lake. Also a big part of the problem, and we'll get into the story. I'm just going to say that was like Crystal Ocean. It wasn't necessarily a lake. I don't know what happened to Crystal Lake. I thought it was a small body of water. But that's the same thing with the cruise ship. The cruise ship sometimes looks tiny. Other times it's gigantic. I don't understand it. There's some weird stuff going on.
Sometimes there's lots of students on the boat. Then sometimes there's like hardly any.
It's crazy. But No, it's very interesting. I definitely agree with you. I think kills were heavily censored because they didn't show up, but I don't know. The practical effects were kind of garbage in this too. And as we get into it, we'll talk about it. And my other question I wrote in here, was this around the time the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out?
Why?
Because there was a lot of ooze and stuff going on in the sewers.
Oh my God. The
Toxic
ending,
waste and ooze. And I just felt very Ninja Turtle-ish.
yes, the ending was incredibly stupid.
Okay. Anyways, we'll get into it. Overall, I mean, it's a different movie. We'll get into our final review. I'm not even sure how I'm going to rate this yet.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither.
All right. Well, let's jump in to the meat. Let's get into the meat.
All right. We can just get into it.
Okay.
We don't have to wait for me. Go ahead. Dude, I feel like, I swear to God, this guy, I feel like he stretches the intro out as long as possible until I just explode.
Well, this one wasn't my fault. But anyways, let's start off.
You can't get the adrenaline pumping without the terror, good people.
So right from the beginning, we see this is going to be a different movie. Like we have 80s, like it starts off with like a montage over like New York City. And again, this is where you get confused because it starts off as if you're in New York City, but really it's just kind of foreshadowing to the very end of the movie where they're showing like a rat and like waste and like disgusting stuff. They show a diner with like people in it, I guess. I don't even know. I put that. People freebasing, and the Statue of Liberty does play a big role in this movie.
Yeah. Well,
the statue keeps coming up.
Well, it plays a role, or is it just in the movie?
It's just in the movie.
Yeah, I was like, what did
There's
it do?
also a necklace with the Statue of Liberty.
Well, yeah, it shows like crackheads. I did like the song. There's like a nice little guitar song in the beginning. I forget what, something about night in there. But it is funny because it sets you up to be like, okay, he's going to be in the city. Psych, we're not in the city at all.
Like we go to the city, but by the time we get to the city, guys, you don't even want to be in the city anymore. They really drag out the end of this movie. So anyways, we go from the city opening back to somewhere we're all familiar with, and that is Crystal Lake. Now, again, this says it's Crystal Lake, but in my impression of Crystal Lake, it's a small lake.
Right. It does look very small. And from everything I've seen about Crystal Lake before, incredibly small.
Like it might be like a canoe. Like you can see across the lake. Like it's a small lake. There's like a rope swing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that. That's my understanding. But anyways, we meet Jimmy and Susie right out the get-go. They're a couple of high school seniors. They're on a houseboat celebrating their senior graduation. So again, I guess they're ballers because they're on like a houseboat on Crystal Lake.
I know.
And immediately I was just like, why is this boat on this lake?
Well, it's going to play a pivotal role in what happens in this movie.
Yeah, but it like so like threw me off just right when I saw it. I was just like, that is a weird boat to be on the lake.
Well, you missed it. You didn't talk about it, but I think honestly what set the tone for the movie was the intro for me with that guy talking.
There is no escape, nor do we want it.
But it's very slow. Like it's just the way, and it's very, I don't know. I'll play some of it for you guys. Then we go to the boat, and I'm immediately like already skeptical of what this movie's going to be.
I mean, should we just talk about the water and everything and like the boat?
Yeah, sure.
Like, okay, we'll get into the cruise ship. That's a whole nother thing. But like Crystal Lake is going to connect to New York City. Like this is like an ocean. Like there's going to be multiple cruise boats, or I guess one cruise boat. And then there's this like houseboat. There's giant boats on this lake. It's huge.
Well, and now there's also a camp. I think it's like a camp set up where, if you remember the last movie, a house blew up there. So apparently they rebuilt a camp now. I don't know what's going on, but here's what I do know. Yes, you're right. The lake makes no sense. It just is what it is.
It connects to New York. Like, what in the world?
It makes no sense. But what I do know is there is a man, creature named Jason still down at that lake. No one has got him yet.
That is true. Well, let's move on. So these two are on this boat, right? They're just there to hook up. That's basically what it is. So Jimmy is the guy. He throws an anchor over. By the way, if you guys are ever listening and all of a sudden like the names are changing, yeah, I've had multiple where I go through my notes and I've changed people's names throughout.
Why do you do that?
I don't know, but I did it on our Patreon podcast too.
I know more than anyone because I edited them and I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I've changed like completely. It'll be like one name for half of it, then it switches to another name.
Okay.
Totally. Anyways, I'm just letting you guys know. Not perfect. So Jimmy throws an anchor overboard, which starts a series of very unfortunate events. You see, like Jared said, there's things in this water at Crystal Lake. The anchor goes down and it's dragging on the bottom, right? As an anchor would do, as a boat pulls it. So as it's dragging, it hits this giant electrical line that is laid on the bottom of Crystal Lake now.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to ask the obvious question if that's a real thing.
I've never, I don't know. It seems like a bad idea, especially how sensitive this line seems to be.
Well, especially when anchors are dropping, maybe you shouldn't have an exposed electrical.
Well, it wasn't really exposed. It was, but whatever. So the anchor catches it, which yanks the line, cutting it, sending an electrical volt down the line onto a pallet where Jason is laying underneath he got electrocuted by this line.
Well, electrocuted, and also, which as we know, it brings him back to life again.
Jason loves electricity, and I was kind of joking before about that stuff, but legit, like he is like electrical magnet, like he loves it.
Yeah, so that's how we get Jason back in this one. Anchor hits an electrical wire, which then electrifies the lake and Jason, and he comes back.
And yeah, this is going to be a man Jason again. Maybe that's like an MO of Kane Hodder because he's like big and people wanted him to be like. I think he does all his own effects and stuff, but like
effects. That doesn't sound.
It's
right.
Close. You know what I mean? I'm saying it close.
Yeah.
Effects?
No.
Special effects.
No, the fighting scenes. Stunts. Yeah, I think stunts is what you're looking for.
Yeah. So he does his own stunts. Anyways, like I'm saying, it's a man Jason. I'll talk about that as we get there. But I just found it interesting. So part 6, Jason lives. Tommy electrocutes him. That brings him back. Part 7, it's telekinetic powers brings him back. And now we're back with electricity brings him back, you know?
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's a weird way to bring him back, but let's keep it moving.
All right. So Jimmy decides he's going to play a crazy prank on his girl, whatever. He goes, he hears, and he told her, like, set her up with the whole story about Jason. He goes, I just thought this was a crazy prank. That's the only reason I bring it up. He went out and, like, they're about to hook up, and he goes and puts on he's got his own Jason mask. And he grabs a knife, and it's one with a retractable blade.
Yeah.
And he goes up and he stabs her. Like he comes out and like acts like he's Jason and like starts stabbing her. And I just thought that was like the most insane thing ever.
Stop screwing around, Jim.
Got you good, Susie.
That is really funny because when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking from the movie perspective. I'm like, okay, they got him in the mask. Obviously, Jason's going to take that mask eventually. I didn't even think about the fact, you're right. That's an insane prank to pretend to stab your girlfriend.
Like that's like terrifying.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, to me, it's like an easy way never to get laid. Like, I don't know what girl would be like, oh, that was funny. Like, that is crazy.
No, because the retractable braid, God, that's 2 hard words to say back to back. Retractable blade?
Nope.
Retracting blade?
Retractable blade.
Yeah, that's a brutal thing to play a joke on a girl. We get it.
Anyway, so back on the boat, they go, whatever, that ends, and then they get back doing their thing. Jason actually is on the boat at this point. He comes up, you see him he grabs the mask, because I did actually like this part because the last movie, his mask was crushed by the mind.
Oh, was it?
The mind
Oh, yeah,
crash.
because it snapped it off his head.
Correct. So his mask got crushed, so he needed to get a new mask. So he grabs the mask and he grabs the spear gun off the counter. He walks down the steps. The kids are in the bed. They have no idea what's going on. You know, Jason sneaks up, raises that spear gun. Blocka.
I'll never do it again.
But dude, crazy. He missed. He missed a point
that
blank
was
shot.
kind of funny that he missed. Jason usually doesn't miss.
And that was like fish in a barrel.
Yeah, that's funny. I forgot.
Lost his touch.
I guess.
For now. Well, for a second. Whatever. So Susie, or whatever her name is, I don't even remember. She takes
guess
off.
What? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she takes off, like escapes. Jimmy makes a fatal error because he sits on the bed, and you guys know I've harped on this. The one thing you don't do is do this. If you put your head back, it's death. It's death every time.
So true.
And so that happened. Jason ends up spearing him in the stomach, and this is where we see our first practical effects, where he pulls out his intestines, and man, they just look like tubes.
Wrong. You're wrong.
What?
It's not intestines.
That is intestines.
It is not, because I watched someone else talk about this movie. I thought it was too, but I was like, this looks weird looking. It's actually just like a part of the apparatus, the whatever spear gun, because it shows it earlier and then it shows it again. It's what I watched. It was not intestines. It was actually the spear gun.
Oh, it's the bands or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because it looks weird though. Because I thought it was intestines too at first.
It looks like intestines.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Well, practical effects, not too bad.
it was just a part of the gun.
So Jason ends up searching the boat, finds Susie. She went to the front under maybe they call it the bow.
Well,
Sounds like the
sure.
bow. She in a little storage space, and she's like laying a hatch, and he opens it up. And this was a kind of interesting kill because he just has like this arrow from the spear gun that has like 3 prongs, and he just like stabs her with it.
Yeah, just a little poke in the belly.
No! No, please, no! No! No!
I just don't know if that would really work.
Dude, no, I'm going to be honest. There's only one kill that I actually really liked in this movie that I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, okay, so now we got rid of the 2 kids on the boat. Jason's alive. That's where we're at.
Yes. So we go and we're going to go to the cruise ship now. So all the high school kids are going on this cruise ship. Those 2 were supposed to be on the cruise ship. Obviously, they ain't going to make it. And this cruise ship is on its way from Crystal Lake to Manhattan. Yes. That's where we're going.
Yeah, the boat's full of these high school kids. Lots of kids you'll notice on this boat. I'm only saying that because half of them disappear and you never see again. Presumably Jason killed them all. I don't know. We'll get there.
Yeah, it's interesting. But this boat, again, it's like it looks like a small boat. Other times it's huge. Like there's a point where they go, and we'll talk about it, they go into like the internal stairwell, and it's like a 10-story boat all of a sudden.
Oh, that's
like
funny.
It looks crazy, dude. I don't even know. It looks like super tiny, then also looks gigantic. I've never been on a cruise like this small though. Like I'm used to like cruise ships being like huge cruise ships.
Yeah, but again, this movie is just, I think it was a lower budget movie. And we'll see a lot of the things just don't make sense. Plus, I did hear about like there was reshoots involved, and who knows? I think this thing was kind of a little bit of a disaster.
Okay, well, speaking of disaster, let's talk about the main character's name because it's Rennie.
Rennie.
Hi, Sean.
Which is really annoying because it should be Renee.
I thought about this too. I'm like, I kept thinking in my head, are they saying Rennie? I've never even heard that name.
Pam or Pan?
Yeah.
Pan? Yeah, it's a really weird name, Rennie. Which, whatever. If your name's Rennie, I'm sorry, but it's
just not familiar to us.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's like you want to say Renee. Anyways, Rennie's the main character, deathly afraid of water, has visions of small boys. That's a fact. Charles is her overbearing uncle.
I'm her legal guardian, not you or anybody else. And I know what's best for her. End of discussion.
Just a stick in the mud, like, I don't know, really annoying guy.
Well, maybe a bad dude too. We'll get there.
He is a bad dude. Then there's Colleen, who's her teacher, works with Charles.
It's up to Rennie to decide what she wants to do.
2 teachers, Charles, Colleen.
But Charles is related to Rennie. Uncle. Almost
Uncle.
like parent figure.
Yeah, her parents died in like a car crash. That's like the backstory.
Doesn't matter. They're gone.
Yeah, there's also Sean, who becomes like Rennie's kind of love interest.
I think they're boyfriend, girlfriend.
Maybe. He also is the boat captain's son. There's like a backstory that's built in where like the dad's trying to get him to take over the boat, and this kid isn't ready to like at all to do that.
How about we start up the engines and come around 180 degrees?
Forgetting something, mister? Send out the International Maritime Signal.
Like he totally fails it. It's his whole story. But then he has his redemption arc where he comes back around and helps out later on. But
that was funny because it was just awkward. And I'm like, I don't know why they put that in there. Again, a lot of stuff was cut. So I'm assuming there was more development on him at some point because his character had 0 personality. I don't know anything about him.
He didn't want to be a boat captain, but his father tried to make him be one.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, and he graduated high school.
Yeah, well, I don't know for sure if he did. He's hanging out with the graduates.
Yes, okay. So as they arrive on the boat, we see Charles and Rennie have a little bit of a strange relationship. He's kind of a dick. He doesn't want her on the boat. He's constantly angry. And okay, we're just going to get into it. We have to just address this incident because it is just hammered throughout the whole movie. Something happened to her as a child. So she has these visions of this boy here's the story. When she was a kid, Charles took her on Crystal Lake. So Charles is her uncle.
And we're jumping the gun because this actually is explained later. You're just going to address it now because we're going to see the boy throughout the...
Yeah, and I'm just going to explain what this is and like what the story is, because otherwise you don't know what's going on until the end.
Yes.
She sees visions of a boy throughout like the whole movie, and she's terrified of water. Charles took her to her lake. Her uncle took her to the lake onto a boat. It was Crystal Lake. And before he even like, she doesn't know how to swim. This is him teaching her how to swim. He tells her about the story of a young boy who drowned there, and that if you don't know how to swim, he's waiting there to drag kids to the bottom of the lake.
Little did he know that was a real story, and that actually happens.
Yeah, so he like grabs her, throws her off the boat after telling her this stuff. Just throws her, and she is drowning because she doesn't know how to swim. And Jason does come and try to drag her to the bottom of the lake.
And you still haven't learned how to swim. You don't want to end up drowning like that Voorhees boy, do you? He's still in the bottom of this lake.
He is not.
And he's ready to pull down anybody who falls in.
You're telling a lie.
Let's find out.
And then I guess she learned how to swim because she got away.
She got away, and Charles eventually saved her.
How crazy is that? Why is Jason a lake monster?
He is.
Isn't that weird? Do we not find that weird that there's just a ghost boy at the bottom of a lake pulling people down?
Yeah, I mean, he did grow up in the water.
What do you mean?
He went from a boy to a man.
Yeah, I don't really know how that
so
happened.
He had a whole like lake monster phase.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the whole story. And because that happened, the weirdest part is now she'll see visions of him throughout the movie, which is bizarre.
It's really confusing at first. I didn't realize it was Jason until I saw the scene where there's one where his eye is like wonky. He's got a wonk eye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's odd. Like, why is I thought it was her brother. Honestly, I thought there was some scene like her brother drowned. And it wasn't until the end they reveal, like, or way later in the movie, that it was Jason. But yeah, because it's really strange.
I think he looks different in different shots when you see the boy. It's just odd, an odd choice.
Very odd, very odd.
But that's what happened.
So, anyways, that's Jason. She's gonna see Jason throughout the movie. Do they have any special relationship? Not really. I don't even know if he knows it's her. I don't even know. So, anyways, the cruise the cruise ship departs with the high school students. And that's where we see Jason's hanging off the side of it on a rope. And it just takes away from the Jason I like.
Well, it's kind of stupid. It's like, okay, so he killed those two kids on the boat, on that little boat. And then for some reason now he's decided, hey, I see this giant boat. I'm going to grab a rope and just chill on the side of this for a little while. Why is he going with him?
I don't know.
I thought he liked Crystal Lake. Why would he want to leave?
He's got to get to Manhattan. But I just don't like the look of it. Like, I don't want Jason to be seen. Like, I want him to appear places. Like, I don't need to see the working part of it. Like,
well, it's like we talked about in the last, a couple movies ago, where he climbed up in the tree and he killed. We didn't see him climb. We jumped out of the tree and we said, how funny would it be if you saw him actually getting up there? It'd be kind of ridiculous. This is that. It's like we don't actually want to see him hanging on the side of a boat,
getting drugged through the water. Yeah, I totally agree. So anyways, he's on the side of the boat. We have an ominous warning from the deckhand. So there's a deckhand. I called him like the new Ralph, and he's like, this voyage is doomed. He's a doomsday guy, you know?
100% it is the new. Ralph was the character. God, was that the original original F-13?
I believe so.
But there's always these characters around warning everyone. Doesn't matter. No one ever listens to them.
The Harbinger.
Yeah.
This voyage is doomed.
So as soon as the boat takes off, we start the festivities. So they got like shuffleboard going, skeet shooting, impromptu boxing match.
Dude, okay, a couple crazy things. The skeet shooting, I'm like, dude, they're really giving high school students guns on a boat? Nah. Nah. But yeah, the boys downstairs in a boxing match was kind of funny. I don't know.
That was, it was a one-sided match, whatever. And then there's a lot of like people dancing on the boat. Again, they're just like partying up, which is whatever. That's not really a big deal. It's just how the boat's going.
I mean, I like it. I like the goofy, crazy boat. Like kids having a great time.
The problem is the perspective of the boat. You don't really feel like in it. I don't know. The way it was shot, it doesn't connect.
No, I agree.
It's very segmented, like weird sections. Anyways, whatever. We meet the rock crew that's filming on top of the boat. There's JJ who's doing the guitar solos. So it's like a typical 80s hairdo chick playing a guitar. And there's the camera guy, Wayne, who's filming her.
Is this axe awesome or what?
Parents really came through.
Now, JJ wants to go and shoot some Supreme footage down below. So she's going to end up going off down into the boat, and we'll talk about that when she gets there. Wayne, I like this line. He said he's trying to scam on Tamara.
Don't tell me you're still trying to scam on Tamara.
Whatever that means.
I think that just like lines. Maybe that's how they used to say. Like, is that like hitting on, like scam?
I guess so.
I don't scam on Tamara.
you never scammed on someone?
I know, maybe I have. Anyways, so they split up. So Tamara is going to do her. So not Tamara. Tamara's a whole different character. JJ's going to do the guitar solos by herself. Wayne, the camera guy's going to meet up with Tamara. So JJ goes down into the ship, and this is where I'm just telling you, and you'll probably show it. This ship, like all of a sudden, the staircase, it's a metal staircase, like very industrial, and it goes like, it looks like it's 10 stories at least.
Yeah, now I think about that downstairs area where she goes to play the guitar doesn't look like it fits on the boat.
I'm just saying,
but that's what I'm saying though. It's like you can't nitpick it all because it's all like this way.
But the three things, like, or a couple things that I will nitpick. It's the Crystal Lake is like, that doesn't make any sense. It connects to New York. Come on, and the size of the cruise ship. I guess those two are the things I really don't like.
No, I agree, and I agree with you. It's
and
stupid.
I can and will nitpick.
Okay,
okay. So anyway, she ends up going down the stairs. Jason sneaks up behind her. And this is where we see Jason's first guitar solo kill.
I mean, I kind of liked it. It was a unique one. How did he get his hands on the guitar? Did he pull it from her?
I don't know. He's behind her. That's a weird thing. It's a staircase where it's just like you can't get around it. It's just a staircase that winds down. And he's behind her, but then all of a sudden he's like in front of her.
There is some teleportation that this Jason does. Yeah, for sure.
It's not meant to be, but he did teleport. He grabs the guitar somehow and hits her in the head and kills her.
And her guitar solo is over.
Yeah, it wasn't really that impressive anyways.
Unfortunately, though, I kind of liked her character. She's kind of this rocker girl. She was at least interesting.
Yeah, I like those characters, but whatever, she's gone. Next, we meet the prom queen, Tamara, and her friend.
He's undefeated. You know that? Julius is the only senior I'd even consider doing it with.
He is so good looking.
These two are a couple of baddies.
So I'm going to be honest, this movie is just so all over the place. And you meet all these characters, and I'm not kidding. Almost all of this is not very memorable.
It's more memorable, some of this, like this storyline that goes right here. So Tamara is the bad girl, okay? She's the bad girl of the movie. Her friend really doesn't seem that bad, but she does everything Tamara does, so I guess she's bad in that way.
Well, her friend's like a smart girl. And Tamara's the bad one. Sometimes that mixes. I don't know.
Well, whatever. They start by doing a little coke when Charles catches them.
Yeah.
Be a lightweight. This is top dollar too.
If we get caught, I could lose my science scholarship and everything.
You're talking to the prom queen, Eva. Do you really think I'm gonna risk getting caught?
Are you girls using drugs?
So they're doing a little coke, a little booger sugar, riding the white pony. You guys know what I mean. So anyways, Charles is, again, Rennie's uncle, and he's no fun. He he can't do coke around Charles. What's wrong with you? It's stupid. Anyways, this is where it gets super weird to me. Okay, so this is their graduation. He tells Tamara that he's going to stop, but he doesn't know they're doing coke. He thought they were doing something bad, whatever. He tells Tamara he's going to stop by her room in 15 minutes for her biology project.
Okay, this I thought was great too, because I'm like, wait, school's done. You're graduated.
I'll be coming around to your stateroom in exactly 15 minutes, Miss Mason, so you better have your biology project ready.
So this had a really weird thing where I'm like, I thought Charles was trying to scam on her.
No, I thought so too. Like my biology project, I thought for sure there was something there.
Right, because there's school's over. We know this is graduation. You don't have extra projects after graduation.
No.
It's not a thing.
No.
So anyways, that's super weird. And it's also going to her room. That's just weird.
Very inappropriate for sure.
Yeah, so that's the thing I have here. Why is school's over? WTF is this writing? So anyways, apparently this incident makes Tamara think that Rennie narked on him. Like she told her uncle on them, which had him come and like talk to them.
Oh, really? I didn't even catch that.
Yes,
part.
and the only reason I say that is because it sets up an event that happens in a little bit.
Okay.
So the prom queen says like Rennie's afraid of water and she wants to do bad things.
That narking bitch niece of his is a different matter. Rumor has it she's a teensy bit afraid of the water.
Rennie's afraid of water and she wants to do bad things?
So the prom queen just says at that point that she knows Rennie's afraid of water.
Oh, and that's
she wants to do bad things to Rennie because Rennie narked on her or something, which didn't even happen. Okay, so then we jump over to the scene of the boxer. Now, we alluded to this earlier. There was a boxing match. Basically, there's Julius who fought this other guy who sucked at boxing.
Yeah, and we're going to go to this other guy in a sauna. Did you know at first when the guy was laying there, because he's covered, I didn't even know who it was.
Well, he said something about boxing.
Yeah, but I thought it was the winner because the way he acted was almost as if he won. I don't know. It was weird.
Nice fight, Julius. Hey, listen, no hard feelings, man, okay? What do you say we track down those babes later?
Well, the winner was a black guy named Julius who's going to be in this movie. This is a white guy, clearly not Julius.
Hard to tell color in the darkness of the sauna.
Don't think the sauna was that dark.
Undetermined. I don't know.
Anyways, this guy who got his ass kicked is laying there and he's taking a sauna, but he's got like a towel over his head. Of course, just a horrible idea when Jason's roaming around. I know he doesn't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, Jason comes in, grabs a sauna rock, picks it up, buries it into the guy's chest, and seems to light him on fire at one point.
Well, blood and rock make fire. Blood and heated rock.
Dude, it looked wonky.
It doesn't make any sense. It also changed locations on the guy's stomach. Again, these kills aren't good. This movie's not good. What do you want us to say?
That's all.
We can't polish a turd. It's still a turd at the end of the day.
I have to cough.
Go ahead. God. You have to showboat it. I'm not cutting it. Well,
That's
now
what
it's
it is.
silent. All right.
I'm going to make you cut it. All right, so back with Rennie and oh my god, this name Rennie. See, I can't even say it. It's like it's the worst name ever.
It is a horrible name.
Rennie and Colleen.
Unless your name's Rennie, then I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they're talking at the edge of the boat. So okay, now they're on the top of this cruise ship. And guys, it's not a giant cruise ship. It's just like a boat.
Right.
But they're at the top, and there happens to be no railing on this boat.
I noticed that as well. It doesn't seem like in fact, I don't think that looks like the boat they took off in. I'm so tired of this movie.
Yeah. Anyways, so they're up on the top of this boat, and Tamara walks by, runs into Rennie, knocking her off the boat into the water.
Was that what you think happened? Oh, well, you acted like it was an accident.
No. It was no. She obviously makes it.
Dude, this chick. I mean, I respect the hustle. This chick's like real evil. She knows this girl can't swim and knocks her off the boat.
I don't know if
That's
she
a murder.
knows she can't swim. She knows she's deathly afraid of water.
Well, people who can't see, to me, people who are deathly afraid of water usually means they can't swim.
True.
That's the true fear of drowning. Yeah, knocks off this giant boat. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a savage move for sure.
But respect. I mean, it makes her a great villain.
That is true. You do hate her in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to say hate. I dislike.
Okay.
You don't want to get in the habit of using that kind of verbiage.
For the love of God, shut up. So anyways, Rennie's in the water. She gets drugged down by Jason in like a flashback, but maybe happening, whatever. I'm not talking about Jason, big Jason. It's the kid Jason, you know? So she can't swim, but she's able to get back on the boat. I forget they throw a buoy or something to her. Who cares? She gets back on the boat.
Buoy. Definitely not a buoy.
So they should have thrown her an anchor, to be honest. Anyways, so Charles arrives, takes Rennie away. Like it's a weird, like their relationship is weird because it's almost like he babies her like a child at times.
You've done a wonderful job of supervising the kids. What the hell happened here?
It wasn't her fault.
You stay away from her. Both of you.
I don't know. He's got Predator vibes written all over him.
No, he's freaking weird. I was confused, honestly, until I watched like behind the scenes of this a little bit. I didn't understand the female teacher's relationship to Rennie or his to her. But then eventually find out he was her uncle. Apparently he raised her.
Yeah, whatever. Her parents died.
Yeah, but I didn't know like he was the one who was solely raising her because it's just weird. It's an odd relationship.
Yeah, you don't really know that until later. You just think it's like her uncle or something.
Well, because he's a dick. He's a dick throughout the whole movie. Doesn't seem to even like I guess he does care about her, but it seems to also like
he's kind of protective, but in that weird over controlling way.
Yeah, that's
like
a
I
good
said,
point.
predator.
That's
way.
what I was trying to. You nailed it. That's what I was going for.
You're welcome.
Well, I didn't thank you.
You were about to.
I was going to. Now I don't want it.
So, anyways, so Charles is taking Rennie away. They run across the boat hand, who again tells them they're all going to die. It's just he's going to keep saying that.
Well, he's right. Well, no, not 100%.
Not really.
And you're all going to die.
So Charles ends up going back. So he takes Rennie away. He ends up going back to Tamara's room.
Okay.
So Tamara, again, the bad girl. As remember, he's going to check in on her biology project.
Okay, this is where I'm like, okay, this guy good.
Well, Tamara don't look too bad. So we go to Tamara's room. She offers him a glass of champagne.
Where is your final project?
Wouldn't you like a glass of champagne first, Charles?
So at this point, I'm like, okay, this, for one, it's very inappropriate, but they're totally hooking up.
It seemed at this point like this is an arrangement they had.
Right.
Yeah, which we don't condone.
We do not condone that. So while she gives him a champagne glass, which he's awkward with, so it's like he's not really into it, but maybe curious. I don't know. So then she decides to show him her biology project, which turns out to be her in a bikini.
But I haven't even shown you my biology project.
Now you stop that. What do you think you're doing? I mean...
Well, and not only that, she's got like organs and stuff drawn on her, like in a biology project, which I'm like, hey, it's a pretty smooth move.
She's a savage, man.
That's a great move. And Charles starts questioning what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think, no, we would not question. She's definitely, okay, in the movie, this girl is like college age, but she's supposed to be in high school, so I
don't know what you're saying a lot of stuff right now. No, dude, 100%. I'm having sirens come on.
So anyways, she ends up tackling Charles, starts making out with him. And so this where you kind of, again, you think like this is part of it because he's kind of going along with it. He was like kind of shocked, but they are making out on the bed for a second.
Oh yeah, he's like going with this for a minute. And then of course comes to the realization. He realizes that he shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. So then we find out basically this is all a setup job. So Tamara is working with Wayne, the camera guy, who's trying to scam on her. And he's videotaping this all to blackmail Charles. Did I call him a different name?
I don't care if he did. It's okay.
Get off of me.
You got anything good?
Yeah, very kinky.
Give me that tape. Give it to me.
Come and get it.
So anyways, Charles ends up storming out of the room. Wayne shoots a shot with Tamara. He goes tries to hook up with her or say they wants to date her, whatever. She friend zones him instantly.
I've had the major hots for you since our sophomore year, Tamara.
That's so sweet, Wayne. Let's be sure to get together later. Okay?
I just thought, but maybe we could.
Yeah, she's not into him. Doesn't surprise me. And to make it clear, so that was all a setup. They were going to videotape Charles and her kind of hooking up to then have that blackmail on him. And guess what? This really pays off near the end of the movie.
What's the blackmail for?
I'm teasing. It doesn't pay off at all, Daniel. Nothing happens with this. This was a nothing scene.
Yeah, but I mean, why would you need blackmail? The school's over.
Yeah, that's a great point. I don't know why. So then she doesn't need to complete the biology project so she can graduate. Maybe she has a late graduation thing. I don't know.
Summer school?
I've never heard of this. I don't know.
Anyways, Wayne.
But you're right though. It doesn't really make sense.
No. So Wayne leaves the room and we see Jason. Again, this is a weird Jason. He pops out of the room next door and he's kind of hiding and just waiting for Wayne to leave. And I don't like that Jason. I like the Jason that if you're near him, you will die. He doesn't wait for anybody. He doesn't hide. He is there.
Yeah, I like the Jason who doesn't contemplate. It's just person dead. Person dead.
Right.
This Jason, because we'll see later, I don't know if we'll probably won't talk about it. When he goes to the diner, he does spare a female waitress and goes for someone else. This Jason's kind of choosing. And when Jason really should just be driven to kill. Everyone die.
Yeah. And he talks like that. Everyone die.
Everyone, if he could talk, he would say that.
Yeah, I agree. So,
but he can't talk.
So Tamara ends up taking a shower. She gets out and she hears her door open. So again, Jason was outside her room waiting. He was waiting for Wayne to leave. So he's kind of coming to the room as she gets out of the shower. And she peers through the door to see Jason like sneaking around, looking around the room. And again, this is sneaky, contemplative Jason. This isn't just charged forward Jason.
Right.
She ends up putting her ear on the door to listen as Jason's arm bursts through the door, grabs her robe off. Yeah, he bursts through, grabs her robe, rips her robe off, and they actually didn't show anything, which was surprising.
You know what's fun? But I saw a behind the scenes thing, and I thought they said she was naked. She did film naked. Maybe they didn't show it though.
Yeah, not in the
I don't care.
Yeah. So anyways, so this kill bothered me too. Again, this is too much thinking for our Jasons. He walks over to the mirror and he punches it to break the mirror to grab a glass shard, and then he stabs her with it.
So you don't like that because why would he have to punch a mirror to get glass?
Right. He doesn't need glass shard. He's got these hands that can, we've seen him punch through people.
Well, you're right. Anything can be a weapon. He doesn't need anything to be sharp. You're right.
He doesn't need a glass shard to go bust a window. And like he walked past her to do that.
You're right. There's too much thinking involved.
Way too much thinking.
Yeah.
So anyway, they didn't even show the kill either. So again, it's like heavily edited or something.
No, that's a fact. You'll see, like, even when he kills the boat captain. Were we here
Let's just
now?
go ahead and jump over to it.
That was a great trans. I didn't mean to.
So the boat captain, who is Sean's dad, the love interest of Rennie, him and Jim, the two guys who man the ship, I don't know. They're, what do you call the captains?
And co-captain? I don't know.
Sure. They're having a good old family chat. Again, they're talking a little too much about life. You know they're both going to die.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jim takes the controls as the captain goes down below. Jason sneaks up behind Jim, and spears are like, it's like I don't even know what this is. A gaff?
I don't even know what happened.
It's like a pole with a hook or something. He stabs Jim. Captain comes up, finds his body. Jason's right behind him, throat slit, dead.
This was the one, the throat slit, which was really bad, where it's like he slits his throat and then nothing happens and all of a sudden blood starts showing through, but it's not like a cut. It's just a terrible effect.
That looked rough.
Dude, they're so bad. This is, I don't want to
save it for the end.
Oh, I'm so angry. We broke, by the way. You probably won't see it, but we broke and had to take a break. I needed to walk away from this movie for a minute. This is a tough one.
That's not why we broke, but
no, but I mean, I'm happy we did because this movie is just brutal. It's so slow and boring and meaningless.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying going through it.
I enjoyed going through it, but that's more of the company you're in. I will say though, there's a couple iconic things that happen in this one later once he gets to New York. We'll talk about it.
All right. So Sean and Rennie find the captain's body. They make an announcement. This is Sean's redemption arc where he kind of does the right procedures to like call for help and whatnot. So
this is so stupid.
So he tells everyone to come to the bridge. He ends up calling the Coast Guard, but then Jason don't like comms lines.
This is the motor. Vessel Lazarus.
This is the Coast Guard cutter Dallas. What's the nature of your problem, Lazarus?
Hello?
He's so funny. He always knows when they're going to call. And let's be honest, Jason's a water monster. He doesn't know what's going on, but I don't know.
He knows how to shut down power, and he knows comms lines, telephones, even communication lines on ships. He knows where they are, and he has to destroy them.
Yeah, he's got like a radar of sorts. When someone's going to get notified, what does he care? Just more people to kill.
That's true. You think he would like that? Anyways. The janitor ends up coming in, tells him again they're all going to die. He's come back for you. Jason Voorhees is here, and he walks the ship here and now.
You're all going to die. He came down the river and he's gotten on board.
That's his line.
You know what I will say? I will say, if you're a victim on this boat, it would be terrifying to have someone killing everyone because you're stuck on a boat with Jason. That is a terrifying idea. Now, I didn't get the vibe like that. You know why it wasn't scary? Because I don't think anyone knew he was even there till...
Yeah,
I don't even know when they knew.
I feel like they pretty much knew at the end when they get off, but like throughout it, no one really knew he was there.
Yeah,
until he killed them.
Do you think this was scary at all?
No.
No, I wasn't scared 1 minute.
No, I don't really get scared in these movies, though.
I do sometimes if I'm watching alone.
No, I think it's because I'm like taking notes when I do it. I just I'm doing my thing.
All right.
Anyways, now we have a little split of the group. So Julius ends up kind of becoming the leader of the kids, and he kind of takes everyone, and they decide, you know what? We're going to take it to Jason. We're going to get him before he gets us.
I say we regroup and let's go find this motherfucker before he finds us, huh?
Which is great in theory. I do like the idea, but they split up, right? That's bad.
Yeah,
you never want to split up.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go well. So
I mean, it's also Jason. He doesn't know what he's in for, but hey, shout out to Julius, man. He tried.
Yeah, shout out to Julius, and he'll be around again, so don't worry. So the prom queen's coke buddy goes to her room and finds Tamara's body.
Right.
So she goes into the hall. She sees Jason standing at the end. So she goes in the room, exits the room, sees Jason standing in, runs away, ends up making it to like a dance hall. Jason catches her. Two-hand strangles her, lifting her like a foot off the ground until she's limp, and then.
Well, this one was great though. I like when he threw her body; she almost bounced off. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
But the whole scene itself was kind of lame. Like it's like Jason, like she's looking, Jason's in different places. It's just. Lame.
Yeah, it was a longer scene. I made it short.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So all the other kids now banded together with the boxer leading the charge. I kind of explained that. But they get a bunch of weapons. They get like axes, pipes, and then they have guns too.
Yeah.
Like lots of guns, which is whatever. So Wayne decides now. So this is like way later in the movie, but
who's Wayne?
Wayne's the camera guy.
Oh, okay.
He decides to go look for JJ. Remember, JJ in the very beginning went down to play this rock solo.
That is the funniest. I mean, this has been hours later.
Oh, dude. I mean, days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he now goes down there to find her. So we go back into that industrial staircase in the ship. He's armed with a shotgun and a camera. And I love it because he's walking by this pipe and a random burst of steam flies through and hits him in the head and knocks his glasses off.
Series of unfortunate events happen here.
That is true. Because then just
this part legit made me laugh.
I love this. Just then a guy jumps out with a knife. Wayne shoots him in the chest.
But remember, Wayne does have glasses, so he's not entirely sure who he just shot.
Because that random steam burst him in the face. So he just murdered a man that works on the boat.
Yeah, we saw him one time earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but also, like, why is that guy jumping out with a knife? Like, come on.
It didn't make no sense. It's so dumb.
That was so stupid.
Well, Jason walks up next to him, knocks the camera out of his hands. Wayne runs away, ends up finding JJ's body. He touches her face as Jason walks up, picks him up, and throws him into an electrical panel, starting a fire.
Yeah, which is great. It's not great. It is what it is. I don't know. Wayne's gone.
Yeah. Fire on a ship, also a very bad thing. Like, very, really bad on a ship. And Jason pulls the fire alarm.
Well, at least he notified everyone.
Yeah, that's nice of him.
How does he know what that does? Hey, who knows?
Jason knows things, all right? So there's one kid walking around with an axe. Jason sneaks up behind him, knocks his axe away. The kid climbs to the mast ladder, which was hilarious because Jason instantly just followed him up and threw him off.
Well, again, it was a teleportation. He climbs all the way up. Why is he climbing up? I don't know, whatever. He's trying to get away from him. Jason just automatically appears right below him.
Yeah, it was like he had a lot of distance and then he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, if he followed him, at least show that, and build suspense with it. But it wasn't that. It was like, oh, he got away. Nope, Jason's right behind you.
Yeah.
See ya.
And he threw him down on the comms, little unit that has spikes on it. I guess that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll give him a 3 for that.
Yeah. Julius, the leader of the guys, the boxer, ends up getting caught by Jason, thrown off the boat. He'll survive. We'll get to it.
Keep in mind, guys, we're a good ways through this movie. We have not got to New York yet. We are still on a boat.
No, and again, we're consolidating a lot of this stuff.
Oh, it was just
so brutal. Jason ends up finding Rennie during one of her flashbacks, headbutts a manhole window, which I did like.
Jason headbutt it?
Yeah, he headbutt a manhole window to explode
Open it up. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I like that. So this is where when I was taking notes, I said her brother, because she has a flashback, her brother has an effed up eye. And I was like, why is his eye so messed up? It's because it was Jason.
Again, though, Jason looks different in like different shots. It's tough.
Kid Jason.
Yeah, kid Jason.
Yeah.
Not the real one. Yeah.
So Rennie ends up grabbing a knife, stabs Jason in the eye. Sean arrives to comfort her just as the power room blows.
Okay.
That happened. I guess the power room blew.
I don't remember, but sure.
Renee and Sean then head down into the engine room. I don't know what's going on at this point. Like it's like chaos. They go down to the engine room, but the water is like flooding the boat. And then the engine room blows open as water like pours out of it.
Get everybody off the ship.
Whatever.
So they're in trouble. The boat's sinking.
Yeah,
You got to get off. Titanic situation.
And I don't know, like, what is Sean like? I mean, I know he tried to like man the boat, but he's not like a mechanic, you know?
No, I don't even know what Sean even did in this whole movie. I'm not even kidding. I don't remember one thing about what he did.
I don't either. Anyways, so Sean and Rennie make it out. They run into Charles. Sean tells him he basically needs to face the fact that Jason's here. The whole movie, like, Charles keeps denying that Rennie or that Jason's a thing.
Yeah, but okay, so Rennie did see Jason. Did Sean see Jason? Who cares? Maybe. We'll say maybe.
I don't even know. So Sean, I did notice this. It looked like Sean was wearing a Freddy sweatshirt.
It's time you listen to me if you want off the ship alive.
Oh,
it
that's
wasn't
pretty cool.
It wasn't the colors though, but it looked Freddy-ish.
All right, if it was maybe a little nod.
I'm wondering because you
Sneak
know
nod?
that Freddy Jason is coming up, and I know it was on their mind.
Dude, I was just thinking, I didn't want to interrupt the show, but I think what we need is like more of these killers versus each other. We've talked about it, like the Terrifier versus Jason or Jason versus Leatherface. How awesome would those be?
You could really put anyone against Terrifier and it'd be good because he's so bad. It would make the other guy automatically like kind of a good-ish guy.
Dude, those movies would do insane numbers too. People would love it.
Yeah.
It's like the fan bases are ready for just like something exciting. Let's get like crazy with it. Have whoever made that movie Cabin in the Woods do the Terrifier versus Jason.
Cabin in the Woods, so good.
That's so good. Maybe that's gonna be our next Patreon after this one. The people under the stairs.
I love Cabin in the Woods.
Or maybe we'll put it on the main channel. I don't know.
We'll see. So Colleen arrives, tells them the lifeboat's ready. They all go to the deck where the deckhand appears with a knife all of a sudden out of nowhere.
The deckhand, yes.
So that's the guy who's, saying everything's bad, whatever.
I'm with you.
But he stumbles forward because he's got an axe in his back.
Boom.
He is dead.
That's the end of him.
Yeah. So they all end up making it on the lifeboat. Julius jumps on the boat with him. He was like treading water for hours.
Well, I don't think you even said it. Maybe you did. Jason threw Julius off the boat at some point.
I did say it.
I'm sure you did. There's a lot going on. So I understand if some of us forget.
Okay.
But Julius was out in the water for a good amount of time just hanging out.
Oh, he treaded water for a while.
Yeah, that's tough.
Julius!
Well, maybe he grabbed that rope that Jason did.
I mean, the boat I would suspect is moving, right?
Yeah, and well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it would be. How? Okay, well, that's crazy.
Don't even
You're
think
right.
that deep.
My brain just blew here. That is nuts, dude. No way. But aside from that, keep in mind there was a bunch of kids on this boat. They're all gone. I guess Jason just killed them all. That's what we're supposed to understand.
Whatever.
That's what sucks about this because it was so low budget. They didn't have the budget to keep all these people around. So they show again in the beginning a bunch of kids around playing, doing all these games. But then when the movie starts, it's like they're all just gone.
Yeah.
It felt very empty, right?
Very much so.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So anyways, we get to my favorite scene. All right. This is where they all get on the lifeboat and they shoot it as the lifeboat's like going away. But dude, it is such a fake boat in the back. Like it doesn't move at all. I think this might be cardboard. Like this is insane.
I'll show. I'm sorry, no, I don't remember it, but I'll show everyone.
It's crazy. I watched it like 5 times. I'm like, wow. That's something.
Again, very low budget.
Yeah, like honestly, we could recreate that scene. So anyways, they end up rowing until they see the Statue of Liberty. So this is where you think like the movie might be over because this has been a long boat trip here. But it's not even close. We're now just going to get to New York.
Okay, so everyone's gone from the boat. Who do we have? We have Rennie, the main character. We have her boyfriend, whatever his name is.
We'll get to it. So they row until they see the Statue of Liberty. They're in New York. Julia starts singing. Again, another strange. They like doing weird, strange songs in these movies.
Check it out. Damn, we're in New York. Make it there. I'll make it. Boom, boom.
They make it to the land, but they're not alone. Jason's there with them. When Jason gets out of the water, he looks up and he sees a billboard with his face on it, and it's a hockey league ad. And then he also starts making like Darth Vader noises.
Well, but he also looks at the camera almost like a little sideways look. He does a thing, which is kind of cool. I actually like that scene. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, but you got to listen. He sounds like Vader.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's kind of out there.
It's weird. Not to mention, so Jason swam.
He's a water monster.
I mean, that's wild. Again, I guess he just teleports. I guess that's what we're supposed to understand. It's just such an odd way to get Jason to Manhattan. Like, that's how you get him there?
Yeah.
But it's like, how else do you transport him from Crystal Lake to Manhattan? Because he's not just going to hang out on the boat and not kill everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's not even get into that. We got to finish this up.
All right.
So the group now, we have Julius, Sean, Walter, Rennie, and Colleen. So Walter, Colleen, the two teachers, Rennie, the main character, Sean, her love interest, and Julius, the boxer. So as they walk on the dock, it gets crazy right out the gates. Two thugs show up to rob them and do more. They're very bad guys.
I think these are the guys that were doing drugs earlier in the intro. I think they're the same.
Could be, not sure. So one of the thugs takes a liking to Rennie and they abduct her. All right. They take her away and it's not for good things. Okay. Not at all good things.
This is so weird that they added this in.
So weird.
Not only they get chased by Jason, we're going to have drug addicts rob them, take this girl, and we all know what they want to do.
Bad things in the alley. And then Walter decides they shouldn't chase or follow her. Instead, they should all go to the call of the police.
Give me your money. Everyone shut up and give him the money. You want to go on a date with me and my friend? Follow us. We blow our fucking head off. Comprende?
I think we'll be more productive if we split up, okay?
So the whole group sees her getting taken away by two druggies with guns or whatever, going to do bad things. Nobody follows or anything. They all just split up.
Yeah,
that's it.
Stupid.
Crazy.
It's not even the stupidest thing in this movie, but yeah.
No. So Rennie gets drugged down an alley where they inject her with ooze.
So they give her drugs, which is crazy.
It's supposed to be drugs, but it looks like ooze. Anyways, they inject her. Again, this is getting kind of dark.
Like, why put this in the movie?
This is getting
why
really
did you
dark.
add this?
Then one of the thugs starts kissing her, and this is full on the word we can't say on YouTube. Like, they're about to do bad things.
You know what, though? Do you think this is all just staged to make Jason look like a better killer?
It's almost as if like they're building on, they have a relationship. Like he actually kind of like has some type of liking for Rennie. Like maybe wasn't trying to drown her or something.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe.
It doesn't matter because that doesn't ever get played out. So Jason arrives, picks up the syringe, stabs the syringe all the way through the guy, like stomach into his back, I think. Or no, through his back, out his stomach.
Sure.
Which doesn't make sense either, but cool. So the other thug arrives with a gun, Jason, and he starts shooting Jason again, and he keeps walking like closer and whatever. Jason grabs him, smashes his head into a pipe.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, it's like, okay, well, I like Jason. He killed bad guys.
I mean, that was one where you're like, that might have been the first one where you're like, oh, good, I'm glad he killed those people.
Yeah, bad guys.
Those were like really bad guys, so... Anyways, Julius ends up finding a phone, tries to call the police, but Jason breaks through the phone booth. He climbs the ladder to the top of the building. Jason corners him, and, well, Darren, we have ourselves a boxing match.
So this part is actually kind of funny because the actor was afraid of heights during this, which I thought was funny, too, because I would be terrified up there. And here's a cool little fact about this scene. We're going to see, actually, what's his name?
Julius.
Julius. he's boxing Jason, and it goes on for like a minute. He is just like going at him, and Jason's just taking the punches. It is very, very lame. Now, the cool thing behind the scenes on this, Kane Hodder he actually had padding on and told him to actually hit him. So he was taking those real shots.
Oh, that is cool.
I thought that was kind of neat.
That makes me like Kane Hodder even more.
Yeah, Kane did a good job. It was cool, but it was just kind of stupid.
Yeah, like my notes, he hit him on the left across, does some body work. Now he's gassed. And then I said, OMG, the scene is still going. Because that was like really long.
Dude, it was forever.
Jason ends up grabbing him and punches his head off.
Your best shot.
Awesome. A la Shorty and Killer Clowns.
Which one was better?
I mean, I think Killer Clowns. It's Shorty, dude.
Yeah, Shorty's 10 punches better.
And Jason's done some amazing kills already, so. But no, I thought that was fun that he just was like, all right, you done? All right, I'm just going to punch you in the head now.
I actually did like that scene.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I like goofiness. Like, that was a goofy, stupid scene, which was actually fun.
Yeah, I'm with you. So Rennie now is in a drug-induced haze. So
was she druggy? I don't even remember seeing her in this state. I might have fallen asleep during part of this.
Oh my gosh. So she ends up running into Sean. Colleen is by herself. Cops jump out. Oh, that was kind of funny. Because they're like everyone's split up. So they're showing these scenes as they're kind of linking back
Who is
together.
Colleen?
Colleen's the teacher. Walter and Colleen.
Oh, yeah. So that was the teacher that drove Rennie there in the first place.
I know. She doesn't really have a big part in the movie, but she's around. So she's walking down the street. A cop jumps out and draws down on her. And it's like, why, you know?
Freeze! It's okay. She's with me.
It made no sense, but the cops were with Walter, whatever. So what's left of the whole group reunites, which is, I think, Sean, Colleen, Walter, and Rennie.
Okay.
So Sean tells Charles again that Jason's here. This is like going on forever. Like, but he doesn't want to hear it, and he tells him to shut up.
Yeah, no, I agree. He should, and let's move it on.
All right. So they all pile in the back of the patrol car. When they all scream, Julia's head's on the dash.
Which is great.
Dude, this scene was hilarious. Like, they all start screaming, and Julia's head is up there.
Dude, talk about the fortune, right?
Oh, dude.
The head landed on, or did Jason put it there? Because he does like to do that sometimes.
He does move bodies.
So,
I don't know. So Jason grabs the cop, drags him off. Rennie jumps in the driver's seat, and Jason is standing in front of the car. So Rennie is, everyone always tries to run Jason over. So she drives straight at him, but she sees the child Jason in front of her, and she still tries to run him over, but instead runs into a wall, catching the car on fire, turning it into Inferno.
I got nothing else. I don't care.
All right. She has a flashback. She has a flashback where she realizes everything that happened to her as a kid, and then I guess this triggered it. So then she confronts Charles about pushing her in a lake. He says he saved her life. Rennie and Sean end up running off, and Jason walks up and chases Charles.
Can we just say what happens to Charles now?
Yeah. So did you remember this part?
Well, just because I watched a recap, I don't remember any of this.
Dude, it's really weird. He runs into a building, and it's almost like a comical, weird thing.
It's stupid. So he's running the building, looking over his shoulder like Jason's behind him, runs into it, only to be thrown out of the top of the building by Jason.
Yeah, it was like immediate. Like he runs in, it's like some weird cartoon.
It was stupid. It made no sense. Then Jason dunks him into I don't know.
Well, they
dirty
go back.
water.
No, they go back to the beginning. Again, there's a big toxic waste thing to this whole movie. And there's a barrel that they showed in the beginning with a rat. Jason finds this disgusting waste barrel, picks Walter up, puts him head first, and drowns him in the ooze.
When did cities ever have toxic waste just around?
Ninja Turtles.
I love Ninja Turtles. Secret of the Ooze.
It's the Ooze, man.
I mean,
all right. So Sean and Renee hang out. What are you doing on your phone?
I got notes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I am paying attention.
Well, okay. Look, so Sean and Renee hang out on an alley couch for a while, and
an alley couch?
It's a couch in an alley. Never sit on a couch in an alley.
Dude, heck no.
Anyway, she opens up that her parents died in a car accident. She says everyone that she cares about dies, and Sean says not this time. They kiss, and Jason arrives. And I thought for sure Sean was going to die.
It seems like everybody I care about, I lose.
It's not gonna happen this time.
Did he? Oh, whatever.
Yeah. He did not. But so anyways, there's another chase with Jason. They go into the subway, chase him through like subway cars.
Can I say this? There was a part in the subway that I thought was stupid. There's a part where I think the subway stopped or something. The train stopped and Jason falls and gets back up. It broke immersion for me. It looked like a normal person falling and getting up. Like our Jason, if he falls, I feel like probably should never fall.
You're talking about, okay, because Sean pulls emergency brake, making Jason fall.
Yes,
down.
yes. So Jason falls and then he climbs and gets back up, and it just looks like he's stumbling. Like, I don't like that from Jason.
No. I mean, okay.
Like, if he falls, he should go straight back like a vampire. You know what I'm saying? And then straight up. Like, there's no bending of knees. He shouldn't bend his knees.
So anyways, they escape out the back of the subway into the tunnel. Sean tackles him, knocking him down onto the, what is that rail? There's electrified rail in subways, I guess. I don't even know. We don't live around subways.
No.
He gets electrocuted, but Jason likes electricity. You know, that means nothing, right?
Absolutely.
So the kids come out of the subway, and now they're in the big city. So again, dude, this movie's going on forever. Like, it just keeps going. You think it's over, but it's obviously not over because Jason's behind them. Jason, then there's a scene where he walks by these street kids with a boombox, and he kicks it over, and then they are kind of like chasing after him, and he shows them his face, and they run away.
Yo, man, it's cool. It's cool, man.
Okay, so I do love the fact that Jason's just like F this boombox and kicks it. That was funny. And I don't know, it even showed his face. It was goofy, and I kind of liked it. It was stupid.
Yeah, I didn't hate that scene.
Is this the scene though? I do like there is an iconic scene that I remember, like it's etched in my mind where it's his face with like New York behind him. Did you see that part?
That probably was that scene.
It was after that, maybe. I thought that was cool. It's cool to see Jason in New York City. And I don't know, and the behind the scenes of that was, I don't know if we want to talk about, but that was like a big spectacle. Like, I guess they had everyone blocked off, and Kane Hodder loved it too because he was getting all that praise there, right? Like, Jason's like
cool.
Yeah. Anyways.
So they end up going to a diner. They tell the waitress there's a maniac trying to kill him, and she's got a classic line, "Welcome to New York."
You don't understand. There is a maniac trying to kill us.
Welcome to New York.
So corny.
So they escape out the back into an alley. They're trapped, and Jason is walking towards them.
Well, hold on. So here's another little behind the scenes thing. The guy, when he walked into the coffee shop or whatever, so that guy came up to him and he threw a guy against the wall.
Okay.
That guy ends up playing Jason later in a different Jason. And
Really?
I think he's Freddy versus Jason.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
cool.
a good touch.
Yeah.
Nice little fact.
Thank you.
All right. So anyways, they end up going in an alley. They're kind of cornered. They have nowhere to go. And they decide they're going into the underbelly of New York.
Where do they go?
The sewer.
Oh my God. Here we are. Guys, we're near the end.
Yes. So they go into the sewer and they run into a random maintenance guy.
What the hell are you kids doing down here?
Like totally random dude working in the sewer.
Okay, well, keep in mind, this dude's hanging out in the sewer, and there's a time at which toxic waste is going to flow through very close to when he's hanging out in there. Just seems like a bad idea.
And we're not talking about sewage. We're talking about like toxic waste.
Toxic waste, son. The sewer floods out with this stuff every night at midnight.
Yeah, like you get touched by it, you're going to burn up and die.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in a movie, bad guys have like big vats of like toxic waste. That flows apparently through New York City, which actually kind of makes more sense. You know?
Well, like, again, this random dude in the sewer, whatever. So, and he tells him about the toxic slime. He's like, warns him about this stuff, obviously foreshadowing.
Well,
here.
he has to tell the audience because this isn't a thing. No one's ever heard of toxic slime flowing through New York City.
Yeah. It's so tough. So anyways, they walk away. Jason jumps out, grabs the maintenance guy, beats his head in with a wrench. Sean gets knocked out. Rennie lures Jason with a flashlight. She finds toxic sludge bucket and throws it on Jason, revealing his monstrous melted face. She wakes Sean up and Jason meanders towards them. They climb out of the sewer on this ladder just as the toxic sludge starts flowing down, right?
I think it's sludge, but yeah.
What'd I say?
Sludge.
Sledge. Yeah. So anyways, so all this toxic waste comes, buries Jason in the water. So he gets melted in it, right?
Yeah. So you're like, oh, that's crazy. It killed him. Okay. It's stupid. Whatever.
This is where it gets weird. The Statue of Liberty gets struck by lightning. This is like a scene. They like cut to that happening.
That had nothing to do with anything, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe that's Jason's electricity thing.
Maybe it's like he died. Boom. That happens. I don't know.
Because him and electricity have some bond. And then they look down at Jason's body, and what would it be?
A child.
Well, it is. It's the boy Jason. But why would toxic sludge? It melts you, but it turned him into a boy.
Yeah. Why, when Jason dies, would he turn into a boy?
Yeah.
Was he a boy the whole time controlling a robot, Jason?
Yeah, I'm not even.
I don't even understand it. I don't get it.
Anyways, his mask floats away. Rennie and Sean live happily ever after in the big city. The end.
That was the stupidest ending I've ever seen. It made no sense. Like, let's kill Jason by toxic sludge in New York City in the sewers.
What did you like better? The telekinesis bringing her father back to life?
Oh my God.
Dragged.
Bro, these guys went back to back with the dumbest endings. It's almost like they were competing, like who could have a stupider ending.
I like the telekinesis one better because it's funnier. This one is just like, what?
Yeah. We'll get here. Let's just give our review.
Final rating.
I don't need to break it down. It was just so boring. I honestly don't remember a lot of it. Nothing meaningful. Didn't have fun with very, very many scenes. The kills were subpar. I'm going to give this one oh man. The question is it worse than the last one we watched? Because that was my least favorite, and I give that one a 4.5. And
then you got to think about the Jason too, the one where Tommy Jarvis is at the not insane.
Oh yeah,
halfway house.
I can't even remember what I scored that one. Actually, maybe that was a 4. I don't even remember what I scored.
That one's worse.
I don't know. I'm gonna say because, dude, what I think about is like rewatchability. I have no desire to watch this again because it was so long. I'm gonna give this a 4.4.
Yeah, I'm not far. I'm going to go 4.6.
Yeah.
At least it had some unique things. Jason's on a boat. They do get to the city. The storyline was terrible. The kills weren't that good. The effects were pretty bad. They probably got heavily edited. Storyline was awful.
Yeah, and the positive things, like the shot of Jason in New York was awesome. I think they did a good job marketing this because apparently, he was even on Arsenio Hall's show, which was awesome because he didn't say a word. He had Kane Hodder in the Jason mask on the show. Didn't say a word. Talk about great marketing.
That's great.
Yeah, they did a great job. Jason's in Manhattan. Oh, that's going to be so great to watch and see, guys. It's all, hey, you want to buy? I'll buy you a ticket. Come watch it with me. And it didn't live up to any of that.
That was quite a story.
Sorry. I went through the mind of the marketing, but I did like how they marketed it for things I've seen from it, but it just wasn't it.
I like Kane Hodder as Jason. I just don't like the way Jason's too much of a guy. They have him act I want him to be the supernatural, powerful. I don't want to see him creeping around, peeking and stuff. He needs to go full bore.
Minimal personality.
Minimal, yes.
Yeah, like a robot. Again, my favorite Jason is that one guy, maybe it was Jason Lives, where he's just almost like a robot, just destroying people. You see Jason, there's no hesitation. It's I don't have a weapon. Guess what? My fist is a weapon. Boom, right through you.
Through your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's our rating of Jason Takes Manhattan Part 8. And that it was a movie. Anyways, let's get into some fun facts about it, although you dropped a few. The title is misleading because the title, Jason Takes Manhattan, most of the film takes place around the cruise ship Lazarus, with Jason only spending about 20 minutes in Manhattan. Budget constraints limited the amount of filming in New York City, forcing the majority of the movie to be shot in Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say that because of budget things. I knew this is mostly filmed in Canada, and that's why you barely see any of New York because they didn't have the money to do it. Because you imagine it's probably costly to you have to get all the people out of the way and to actually film in New York City. Probably tough.
I mean, maybe just set up a scene that looks similar, but you need those buildings in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, the original version was more ambitious. Here you go. Director Rob Hayden initially envisioned Jason rampaging through New York City landmarks like Brooklyn Bridge, Madison Square Garden, and the Statue of Liberty. However, the budget, it's just budget constraints. That does sound awesome, though.
Dude, Jason going through Madison Square Garden. Oh, man, you could just imagine the kill counts in that.
Or if there's like a basketball game going on.
See, we could do so good with this movie.
He murders like Patrick Ewing.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, this back in that time.
Could be.
Yeah.
So Jason's Times Square scene was real. The iconic scene where Jason walks through Times Square was filmed on location. It's one of the most memorable moments of the movie, featuring Jason intimidating tourists and knocking over a boombox. I don't know if those were tourists, but the extras in Times Square were real New Yorkers, adding authenticity to the scene.
Yeah, so no, those were actors, but they're saying there's people around that were, I don't even know if we saw the onlookers, but anyways, yeah, that was really in New York City and there were people around. I don't know.
Yeah. Jason on a boat. The concept was inspired by the successful films like Titanic and disaster movies set on water. Don't know if I'd go with looking at Titanic for a Jason movie.
Whoever thought that would be a good mix was not thinking clearly.
Okay, I'm going to lump these next few together. So, well, first we'll do the toxic waste. And the climax of the film features Jason being engulfed by a flood of toxic waste in Manhattan sewer system, which somehow reverts him into a childlike state. Bizarre ending puzzled fans. It remains one of the most divisive moments in the franchise.
Yeah, of course. We already went through it.
Movie was heavily censored. We kind of figured that out. Boombox scene was improvised by Kane Hodder.
Yeah. I mean, that was cool. I like that he kicked it. I thought it was a fun touch. One of the most memorable and fun scenes in the movie. So,
yeah. And dude, I mean, I need to watch some Kane Hodder interviews. I feel like he's got a lot of personality.
Yeah. I honestly don't even know what he sounds like. I've seen very few of them. So,
yeah, it's hard to imagine how he sounds. I've never seen him.
I mean, I don't know. Sure.
All right. So that's the end of our review. Next one will be done, I think, is Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, dude, that one should be more fun, I think. I'm sure it is. It can't be worse. Could it?
It's always possible. And if you guys want, we're continuing our conversation over on Patreon because we're going to talk about which killers would we want to fight between Jason, Freddy, who else? Chucky, Leprechaun.
Ooh.
The battles. Who would you take one-on-one? Who would win?
Come over to Patreon, hang out with us.
Yeah. So anyways, we appreciate all you guys. Thank you to all our patrons, everyone who watches shows, likes, subscribes, gives us those comments. Hey, you guys are all very much appreciated. We love doing these. We love having you guys.
Yep. And thanks for just hanging out. Shout out our Patrons.
See ya.
Patrons? I don't know.
Patrons.
The show's over.
No.
Click the video.
Bye.